So the people that are creating, controlling AI are telling you that AI will be taking a lot of you guys' jobs. Now, we've seen a statistic lately, reports that a lot of jobs have been lost recently. And, the majority of them, they said were black women, and black women try to say it's racism, DI, this, and the third. But we'll get into that later. But right now, let's talk to the people in the know. So y'all can understand. I know y'all like to watch MSNBC, especially your Democrat followers. So you need, instead of watching it just for Joe Biden and Kamala Harris in the election that you want to look at every 4 years, you need to look at this here. But don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And when you do subscribe, hit the notification bell. So every time I drop a video, you will be the first to know about it. Let's hit it.
A new piece that just posted on Axios.com moments ago, taking a critical look at the future of artificial intelligence. It's a pretty incredible piece. It's entitled Behind the Curtain, a white collar bloodbath. Could be the result of AI.
Well, yeah. And Jim, people that run AI companies don't want to talk about it. They want to pretend it's not going to happen. Silicon Valley wants to pretend it's not going to happen. Wall Street doesn't really want to talk about it. But the fact is, as you report, just like the technological revolution, the IT revolution gutted blue collar workers throughout the 90s and beyond, you're now talking about a bloodbath for white collar workers because of AI. And from what you've seen and what you're reporting on, it is going to be a bloodbath for workers.
I always think about this technology. A lot of these youngsters don't really realize how things have evolved for us, for those of us who was born in the 1900s. That little funny bastard. Anyway, used to be, let's say in my day and age, and I'm sure like when my parents and grandparents thing moved a lot slower than it did even for us, it would take years for a video console to come out. I mean, years. When they started making cell pagers, let's say pagers and cell phones, it would be years before they come up with, more advanced pagers and cell phones. Any kind of technology, hell, even cars and things of that nature, it would take a while for things to develop. But now you get new phones every few months. You can get a new gaming console every year, even video games. The way video games coming, I mean, it still take I know it may take a couple of years for video games to come out now. But I mean, but it used to take a long time. Look at, matter of fact, television or YouTube, things you like cartoons. When you look at the old process of even making like cartoon, like movies, it would take years to make an hour and a half, 2 hour cartoon because they're doing it by hand, drawing, sketching, back and forth. Then somebody got to color it. Then somebody, then they got to edit it and proofread it. You have a whole team making a cartoon movie, and then you also got to have the voiceovers and then the editing and stuff like that. But now you can just go on now they got software to where you can create characters like damn near instantly, and probably can create shows and TV shows and things like that within a matter of hours, if not minutes. We can go in here now, record these videos now, and within a matter of an hour, within an hour, have a video recorded, edited, uploaded to YouTube and out for the masses. So technology is just has has evolved so quick and so drastically that it's ridiculous. So just to give y'all that context, yeah, stuff like this is only going to get faster and it's only going to get worse for you. So it's best to stay on top of it and in front of it.
I mean, that is certainly the warning of Dario Amodei, who is the CEO of Anthropic. And just for your viewers, Anthropic is one of the top creators of this AI, these large language models in the world. So he has better visibility than probably all but 2 or 3 people in the world into the power of the technology. Mm-hmm. He'd been telling us in private for a while that this bloodbath could be coming, but that lawmakers don't want to talk about it. The federal government doesn't want to talk about it. AI companies don't want to spook people. We finally convinced him to go on the record. And his point is like, listen, just play with the technology, not just casually. Like once you really dive into it, you realize it can do the work already of researchers, of analysts, of a whole host of entry-level white-collar jobs. And he put it in the starkest of terms. He said, like, based on their early analysis, over a 5-year period, it could wipe out half of white-collar entry-level jobs. Unemployment could spike to 10 to 20% in the next 5 years. And this is a guy who's building the technology, who's boasting about the power of it. And when we push him on, then if you're building it, like, how do you morally kind of think about it in your own mind? And he said, I have an obligation to build the technology. I also have an obligation to get the federal government, to get lawmakers, to get other AI companies to figure out how do we prepare the American worker and how do we protect the American worker. And so, as someone who runs a company, I run Axios as a CEO. I spend an inordinate amount of time studying AI and how it's going to play out just in my space.
Listen to what he's saying. You need to be doing the same thing he's doing. He's the CEO of Axios. And he's telling you exactly what you need to do. Get out here and play with this. Not just like I said, looking up stuff, but actually seeing how it's ran, how it's evolving, how you can become a part of it in order for you not to be part of this white collar bloodbath. Do the same damn. People all the time they want to be CEOs and boss women and bosses and this, that, and the third. Well, this is a CEO. Are you doing what a true boss is doing? If not, you'll be sitting there selling shea butter for the rest of your life, thinking you're a boss and you ain't got not now an employee. Man, we all trying to get there, like in real life.
Of media. And I can guarantee you in the next 5 years, it's going to radically transform the makeup of our company. Well, every single company in the world is doing this. Every CEO is sitting there saying, should I fill this role? Should I open this role? Will a machine do this better than man in the next couple of years? When you see data out about the difficulty of college grads finding new jobs, this is one of the early telltale signs that this could be coming. And so I think that.
So what I would suggest is that your kids are in school while they're in junior high and high school. I remember being in junior high, taking computer class with what was it, basic, Pascal, Turbo Pascal, Cobalt, stuff like that, and I really wasn't into it. I wish I would have stayed into it because if you stick with something for long enough, then it becomes a habit and it becomes part of you, and then you know what I'm saying, it's a smooth transition instead of waiting until you like in your 30s, 40s, 50s trying to figure out this new technology, and then already passed you by like 3 generations. You don't even know it. But I remember, like I said, doing that kind of stuff. So my thing is your kids now should be not just get them sun guns off of YouTube and TikTok and whatever. Watch what the hell your kids are doing on these devices and make sure that they are learning a skill at an early age as soon as possible. Not just like when we used to watch TV back in the day, we had to watch Sesame Street, Mr. Rogers, what PBS, PBS Channel 13, whatever it is in your area. And those were shows where we as kids would learn. It was entertaining, but we was also learning. These children are not learning now. So when they become 13, 14, become seniors, 17, 18 seniors in high school, and they can't read past a third. Think about it. They can't read past a third grade level now. How do you think they're going to be reading 10 years from now? Think about it. Because they don't have to read nothing. Everything is read to them. If they do, they can look stuff up. It can be read to them if they can't read it. You feel me? They know their letters, so they can write and it won't be spelled correctly, but this is what you're looking at. So get your kids into this stuff early to learn it as a skill. So when they get out there in the real world, in the workforce, they'll be able to survive.
The column is very much worth a read. I wish lawmakers spent more time thinking about this rather than some of the small ball things that they debate day to day.
It's been fascinating to see many of the people who are developing AI technology, Jim, offering warnings about what's coming because of it. And in your interview, he effectively says, you cannot stop this train. It's coming down the tracks. This is happening. I think the way he puts it in your interview, though, is you can steer it a little bit. What does that look like? What does steering it look like?
In his mind, I think it's sounding the alarm. It's like, listen, we got to have a national debate that this isn't 10 years from now. It could be 6 months from now. It could be 12 months from now. then there has to be a debate about, okay, how do you make sure that workers are prepared to use artificial intelligence to augment their work, not displace their work? That's what we've been doing at Axios. We give everybody access to the technology. We have a deal with OpenAI. We make sure that every single unit, no matter what your job is already playing with this to figure out how are you going to augment your work so you don't get displaced by it. Now, I told my own staff, you're committing career suicide if you're not spending 10% of your day experimenting with the technology. And I don't think
10% of your day. That's a good starting point.
I think most people are. I think people are like, whoa, this is too science fiction, or, it's a really neat search engine. They're not actually looking at the capabilities. They don't have the time. They have real lives. But I think Dario's point was they might not wake up until it's way too late. And if lawmakers are way too late to it, you could have real issues. You could have unemployment, as he said, 10 to 20%, if he's right, which would then lead to obvious political unrest. We have Steve Bannon.
And you know what kind of jobs you'll be getting? You'll be working with me as like CNA, housekeeping, maintenance, jobs like that you're probably overqualified for, but you're underqualified for the jobs that are being taken over by AI, because you really ain't gonna be able to do too much fast food. Ain't gonna be too many of y'all there because AI is already in the kiosk, taking orders. They're already, creating orders. All you got to do is hand it to the person, but they got self-running fast food stores. Y'all understand that? Like Taco Bell, I know, have places where you put your order in at the window, at the kiosk, drive up to a window, pay whatever, and then your order comes to you in a bag, drops down. It is prepared by conveyor belts, this, that, and the third. You may have somebody, you need to be the one to know how to fix that. You need to be the one to know how to upgrade the technology. You need to, that's the job you need to have. You need to be looking into, because you're going to always need somebody who knows how to do things like that, because just flipping burgers and fries and mopping the floor, we got robots for that now.
Bannon on the record in there saying he thinks the exact same thing is going to play out. He said Trump's not talking about it, but he thinks this will be maybe the biggest topic of the 2028 presidential election.
And old folks don't care because they already got their money. They don't care. They like, shit, we good.
I mean, you have Steve Bannon on the right. You have other people on the left very concerned about this. And Jim, you underlined a point that I've actually told my kids, which is, if you're going into an interview, if you're going into anything where you are going to be talking and you want to understand a topic, it's just foolish not to go on to a search engine app, an AI search engine app, and dig in deep to try to understand a company that you're talking to or an issue that you're talking about better. It is Elizabeth, it is the future. The future is now. And a lot of the spaces that we work in 10 years from now are going to look completely different because of AI. And
before she let her talk, what I noticed is, when I watched this video, was that they didn't really talk about what entry-level white collar jobs were. And you know what I did? I went to ChatGPT. I tell y'all this recently now, y'all will see that I go to this site, or like I say, use Gemini on my phone. And if I got questions, man, should I just look it up, man? So I went to the ChatGPT and I looked at, let's see, where's my question? A question I asked was, what are examples of white collar entry level jobs? Since they didn't really expound on that in this interview. And it said white collar entry level jobs are typically office based roles that require professional or administrative skills, often involving minimal physical labor. These positions are common starting points for recent graduates or those transitioning into professional careers. Like they say, a lot of these graduates cannot find jobs. Let's see why. Here's a categorized list of entry-level white-collar jobs, along with brief descriptions. In business administration, you have administrative assistants. It's a office coordinator, receptionist. In the finance and accounting, you got accounting clerk, financial analysis, a bank teller, IT support, such specialist is technology and IT, IT support specialist, junior web developer, data entry clerk. In marketing, you have a marketing assistant, social media coordinator, public relations assistant. Education and training, you have teaching assistant, admissions coordinator. In government and legal, you have paralegal assistant, records clerk, permit technician, and customer service representatives, sales assistant, account coordinator. In healthcare administration, you have a medical office assistant, billing coordinator, health records clerk. And it shows tips for getting hired. It says internships and volunteer experience can help you qualify. Highlight soft skills like communication, which a lot of kids can't communicate because they don't talk to each other. They sit there looking at the phone all day. They do little computer cartoon stuff, like running like cartoons, talk like cartoons. Their actions look like little cartoons and stuff that they see on. They don't know how to, they don't know how to act around grown people. Communication, organization, problem solving. Certifications. Google Analytics, Microsoft Office can give you an edge. Then I asked, which will AI possibly replace? It says AI is increasingly capable of handling tasks that are routine, repetitive, or data driven, which makes some entry level white collar jobs particularly vulnerable to automation or transformation. Here's a breakdown of which entry level jobs AI is likely to replace or reshape, and which are safer and will evolve. High risk of AI and replacement. We're not going to get all into the why. Y'all look this up yourself. Data entry clerk, customer service rep, administrative assistant, receptionist. And all this got to do with like kiosks and AI powered chatbots. Anyway, I'm not saying I'm getting into it. Y'all get to it. Y'all can read it yourself. Accounting clerk, social media coordinator. Those at moderate risk, marketing assistant, financial analysis, paralegal assistants, IC support specialist. Hell, you already can call a number and you can tell that it's like an AI or a computer that you're talking to. Low risk, AI augmented, unlikely to be fully replaced. These jobs heavily rely on emotional intelligence, critical thinking, or human judgment. Those are teaching assistant, public relations assistant, sales assistant, account coordinator, healthcare office roles. So, what to focus on to future-proof your career, develop soft skills like communication, empathy, leadership, gain AI literacy, know how to use AI tools, not fear them. Pursue hybrid skills, combine domain knowledge with data or tech skills. For example, marketing plus analytics. Let's see, want to help figure out which AI proof roles best fit your skill set? Yes. Let me put in yes. I'm going to put in nursing and see what it says. Great choice. Nursing is considered one of the most AI resilient professions, especially at the entry level and in direct patient care roles. While AI is becoming a tool in healthcare, it cannot replace the empathy, judgment, and human connections nurses provide. Why nursing is safe from AI replacement, human-centric skills, unpredictable work environments. I mean, yeah, like when I work at, man, things happen all the time with these patients. You got to be on it. You got to pay attention. You got to know when there's a problem. It was like yesterday, I had a patient. I was on the other side of the clinic and they hollered my name. And it's like when I turned, I was on the other side of the clinic and the person that's taking care of was like sitting right there. And we had another nurse in the building too, but I was doing something. I just heard them say, "Martin," the way they said it, I turned around and I knew something was wrong, but I could barely see them and their reactions and stuff like that in the motion, but I knew something. I could have a mask on and went down there. And when I got down there, I knew I needed to do the next thing I know, what I'm saying, took care of them this and the third. But that's the human, that's knowing how to judge on the spot what needs to be done. Like I say, it's unpredictable. Ethical and relational complexity. How AI will support, not replace nursing, predictive and AI too, predictive analytics, clinical documentation, virtual nursing assistant, robotic, best nursing roles to future-proof your career: RN, ER ICU nurse, pediatric home health, geriatric nurse educator, nursing informatics specialist. Dang it. And that's what Now I don't want to put it out there, but that's one of the thing I was looking into was informatics. Like seriously, that's the next step. Learn to use AI tools, advance your degree, consider RN, BSc, MSc, and NP for more autonomy and specialization, build soft skills, stay current, follow trends, nursing. So pretty much in a nutshell, like I said, with this video, I'm gonna let y'all, I'm gonna put in the description box, y'all can watch it, the rest of it yourself. But that's it, man. You gotta stay ahead. This AI is not going anywhere. Like I said before, look at that. I saw that Vio 3, them videos on YouTube, and I had sent them to somebody, and they was like, "Man, that's neat that they got that that they got AI can have what you call it, like the way you talk." God dang, I can't think of it right now. Now my brain is tripping. Accents, like having foreign accents. And they thought, oh, that's neat. I said, no, 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 no. It's not the foreign accent. It's the video. That's the entire video itself. Those are not real human beings. And she was like, what? And she had to look at it again. Like, are you serious? Man, this stuff is getting crazy. I remember back in the day when a 24-bit video game was the coolest thing. And no, 32-bit and then 60. No, then in 64 and then 120 something bit video games were like the coolest thing that we've ever seen. Now these video games are looking like realistic to where you can't even really tell the difference between the game and actual people playing and actual robots playing or AI. Who knows? Maybe one day they'll replace athletes with AI, especially if you're just watching it on TV anyway. So I mean, they don't need you to come to the games. Just watch it on TV. They'll cut all the middlemen now. Who knows? But anyway, tell me what you think about this story. Y'all stay on top of this stuff. Like seriously. Leave your comments below. Share it with the world. Have intelligent conversation. You know how we do around here. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Those 4 things cost you maybe a couple of minutes out your day, but it means the world to us here at this channel. If you like to support us financially, you can get super thanks, super chat, super stickers, or you can go to the description box. There are links there you can click on to help support us that way. Now, if you would like something tangible for your dollars, which a lot of people do, you can go to marlonmorale.com, hit the Shopify store, or go to hit the shop button below and check out all our luxury products. We have fragrances that last all day. We have beard products. We have silk products, handbags, much more. Check it out. You will not be disappointed. With that being said, I'll leave you in peace, and I'll see you on the other side.